All right, so for today's video, we haven't done a video in a while. Let me just fix this camera angle. For today's video,
Gotta be perfect.
it's gotta be square, like Jerry Ward says, square. We're gonna talk about the new men's classic physique category that the NPC and IFBB has announced. So I've got Matt Froese here. He's a national level men's physique competitor who's done the Arnold Classic twice.
Mm-hmm.
He's done men's physique at nationals 3 times.
Yes, sir.
He was a first place winner and followed it up with a third. And this year, what happened?
Let's not talk about this last
Let's not
year.
talk about
It
this
was
year.
a bit of a fail, but that's okay. You need the lows to experience the highs, right?
So yeah, this year was a little bit of a toss-up. I was there. I had the privilege of competing at Canadian Nationals, so that was very interesting. But we want to talk about this new class. It's a lot of people are talking about it. It's very exciting, and yeah, we've kind of gone over a couple pros and cons. We just wanted to talk about and share what we think based on our experience. Matt's done men's physique. I've had the privilege of doing men's physique and the original bodybuilding category. And that's something I had actually switched back to since doing men's physique. So this new category, having switched back and forth, it's quite interesting because it's kind of right in the middle, which is what they're advertising. But that kind of brings me to the first thing we have listed as a con. I find it very interesting that with the current men's physique category, they don't have any kind of a weight class. They have height classes, but they don't have any kind of a weight restriction on the competitors. So they basically left it up to the competitor to bring what they think is appropriate to the stage and let the judges kind of decide whether or not that person is too big, too small, or whatever. And with this new category, which is supposed to be bigger, they've actually capped it. So that's kind of interesting to me.
Yeah, it is interesting because you'll see a lot of guys that are in men's physique right now that are substantially bigger and heavier than what they'd weigh into for this new category. Jim Mannion talked a little bit on a video there that he was going to scale back men's physique, which is probably not a bad idea. Every year, I mean, you can look at the progression of men's physique, and it's grown bigger and bigger and bigger every single year. So I think now the idea is to really create some balance there and create kind of one body type to follow. So you don't have some huge guys that are standing next to guys that are a lot smaller. Just more consistency across the judging. Could be a negative, could be a positive. We'll have to see, I guess. I mean, a lot will come out on the first show here, and physique. I feel bad for those guys with Olympia right now, prepping our top 5, world-known physique guys. They're getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and they can't fit into the weight classes even for the new category. So either they're going to have to take a loss here and lose 15, 20 pounds probably of muscle, or get out of the sport. They don't have many options.
Yeah, they've kind of been pushed out. I was mentioning a guy like Jason Poston. As far as I know, he's about my height, which is like 5'10", 5'11", and with a weight cap of 200 pounds with this new category, like he's gonna have to give up some size. Like he's gonna be stuck. Actually, they've actually kind of created a weird situation where they've tried to create a middle, and they've actually kind of capped physique altogether because there's kind of nothing for guys who are say 5'10", 220. They can't go pro, like they're not big enough to do a pro level bodybuilder, and they're obviously too big for this new size. So it'll be interesting to see if these weights that they've thrown out there are going to be contested, if they'll end up changing. I'm kind of hoping they do because personally I will be too heavy. I'm 5'10" and 3/4, so I'm gonna have to cut down to my last time I was 200 pounds was back in the fall, and that was about a year ago, and I've made some pretty good gains since then. So my stage weight's around 210 right now. So I'd be giving up some good size I've worked really hard for. So that would be a hard thing for me to do. Yeah. There's lots of interesting stuff will happen. It'll be interesting to see how people shuffle. A lot of guys who have the size will obviously bump up, but some of these guys aren't going to have the legs. They're not going to have the wheels. So, based on my own experience, it takes a couple of years.
I like that. I'm not going to lie. That was a huge advantage for me when I hear about this new category. You do get to show legs. Obviously, aesthetics being kind of a number one priority too, but it's an overall balanced physique. Definitely, I know a lot of the national level physique guys. We all train legs. You can't get a well-rounded body without training legs, in my opinion. So I think it'll be good for a lot of guys crossing over that, they work hard on your legs, and it's something you get to show off now, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah, it does take a while though. So some of these guys who are national level physique guys are not going to be able to cross.
Some will fall behind. This will those are the type of guys that will definitely stay in physique. So
yeah, because if you're overdeveloped, like if you have a really good upper body right now and you're doing physique, but you don't have the legs, you won't fit anywhere because you're now going to be too big for the smaller physique class, and you won't have the wheels for the new class.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to take some time off and get under a bar.
Yeah, very true.
So that'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what they do with the posing trunks too. I know it sounds like they're gonna do like little short shorts. I'm not sure if they're gonna go back to the classic 1970s trunks, which are a little bigger than the trunks we wear in bodybuilding. But
there's a lot of talk with the WBFF style posing shorts, where it's just kind of like that booty short, still covers your butt, still covers everything. I personally think if you're going to make the change to classic bodybuilding, classic physique, you should go back to a trunk.
Yeah, I agree.
You're blurring lines too much going to WBFF style. So
yeah. I think we can both agree though, like somebody has called this Mannion's brainchild, but this is something everybody's been asking for now for a couple of years.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of pushback against like the Ronnie Coleman style physique with the blown out gut, the really big core. Like people don't like the way that looks.
No.
The sport was huge in the 90s, the early 2000s. It started taking a hit with Coleman and Jay Cutler winning all the O's. People didn't like the way it looked, so
you lose a lot of aesthetics. And then I think also Arnold Schwarzenegger at the last, I think it was Olympia or Classic.
Arnold Classic, yeah.
Arnold Classic, he like called out Jim Mannion specifically, being like, "What are you doing to the judges? Tell them, you're scoring these guys with huge distended guts. You're losing the beauty and the sculpting and the art of the sport."
Yeah.
By awarding these guys, so he really did call out Mannion, and with such a legend calling someone out, he was bound to do something about it, and that's where I think this probably conspired a little bit.
Yeah, I think
for Jim,
he may not be involved in bodybuilding now, but that's his identity. So I think he's probably been hearing it for years.
His presence is heard,
people probably told him like, you had the best body ever. I don't like these guys now. Yeah. So that's probably something he's heard for 20 years now.
For sure.
So it's cool that he's gotten involved in that. This change has happened because of what he may or may not have said.
Yeah.
So I think he had a big part in this, which is good.
For sure. So Jordan, are you going to make the change? Have you decided?
I right now I would say no.
Yeah.
My last stage weight was around 215. Nationals was like 210, 215, and if I don't know how the height will work, if it is incremental in the sense that it's like 1 inch to 1 inch, I'm like 1/8 of an inch under 5'11". So like if I can stretch out or like hang off the ceiling for a few minutes and get over 5'11" and come at 207, that's something I'd talk about.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm willing to cut right back down to 200 again.
Yeah, you lose a lot of earned muscle, for sure.
Like I was saying earlier, for my size, like to have the proportions that these guys are looking for, to have the classic bodybuilding X shape, where like your waist looks small, I proportionately have to have bigger shoulders because I have relatively short clavicles, like collarbones. So I need that size, and I think even at 210 or 215, like I'm not going to look too big. I'm not going to look like a bodybuilder. Like I won my first physique show, and I was over 200 pounds, and it looked okay on me. Like it looked good on me, and at the time my legs were small, so I think I could bring up my legs, keep my upper body kind of where it is, and my stage weight might be 210, 215. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't accept that. So
right.
Unless the weight changes, I don't think I'd make the change. I'm a size guy. Like for me, it's like I'm always pushing myself. Like the most difficult aspect of bodybuilding, aside from dieting, is putting on that size. Like it separates the men from the boys. You got to train like a total beast. Like that's my strength. Like I can train. So it takes a long time, but I've accumulated a lot of size over the years, and it's kind of my advantage. So I'd like to use it in bodybuilding.
It's tough to give that back.
Yeah, it's really hard to give that back. Yeah. So getting ready for my show last fall, I cut out the squats and the deads in July for a show in November just to kind of try to bring in my waist, and that was hard. Like I actually miss doing those exercises. I know we all grind on leg day, but I like it. Like I miss those hard exercises. They're great for building strength out of the core.
Well, only time will tell, I guess, with this new classic physique. I'm very curious to see what happens, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm definitely on the fence. So we'll see. I talked to a couple judges yesterday about if I did want to switch over, would I give up my lifetime qualification for national physique? And no, I wouldn't. So I can give that a shot and still keep my qualifications, which is nice. So there's probably a good chance I might give it a shot, at least for kind of an entry-level show. And
it'd be interesting to see also if do you even want to keep your national level physique qualification? Like will you be way too big now? Like, we don't know what they're going to be looking for now. They've asked Men's Physique to scale back. Will this guy be like a monster on stage? Do they want 180-pound guys now?
Yeah.
For your height, like, do they want a skinnier look? Because Mannion did mention like they want to go back to kind of like the cover model beach body look, which is a lot thinner. So
yeah.
It's gonna be a hard adjustment. It'll be a very interesting year, 2016, to see how everything kind of shifts and everything falls into place. But I think overall, it's a good thing for the sport.
Yeah.
I think it'll bring a lot more young people into the sport.
One thing I did want to mention real quick, which I think is a concern, is I love the idea when they introduced Men's Physique, because it took a sport that's bodybuilding, there's a lot of stereotypes around it, drug use, everything like that, and brings in kind of a more natural approach to it, and something that Joe Blow, kid that's been working out for a couple of years, can jump into and give it a shot, right? Only problem I have with classic physique is you're not really introducing anyone new to the category. You're stealing either from physique or from bodybuilding, and so you're not really expanding or growing. It's just more of bodybuilding. It's already dropped in size every show. There's less and less bodybuilders because a lot switched to physique. And physique, it's growing, but I mean, with all the shows now, it's not going to get that much bigger. And so you're stealing a lot of guys from physique and bodybuilding. It would be nice if they could just reintroduce, and maybe if they're going for a smaller size physique, it opens the doors for a lot of new physiques to come.
The physique category may become more attainable for just the average gym goer.
Yeah. So
do a diet and show up.
Only time will tell, I guess.
Yeah. Anyways, that's it.
Cool.
Good talk.
Check it out, guys.
We're gonna look forward to seeing this play out. Peace.